Hey folks, I'm Chris and I'm your Commander Mechanic. We now have the full set list for Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, and the set is looking dope. It's not the most powerful set in the world, but for us as Commander players, there are some real gems in here. As with each new release, I've compiled my top 5 for the set. Remember that if you're looking to pre-order any of these cards, check out my affiliates. They're both linked in the description below. Let's start with some honorable mentions. First, I'm going to the class cards. These enchantments are awesome. They are low-to-the-ground utility for a lot of decks, providing excellent short-term bonuses and getting better and better over time. My only wish is that there was a way to start with these classes available to you in the command zone, or like a companion, so we can build with these flavorful additions in mind. Just simply giving them partner would have opened up a world of options for crazy brewers like me. Our next honorable mention is going to Book of Vile Darkness and Book of Exalted Deeds. These two mythics are going to be build-arounds moving forward, with the BOVD being the new Cauldra in players attempting to assemble Vecna. Book of Exalted Deeds has some excellent combo potential to ensure you never lose the game and opponents never win the game, which I'm sure we will explore in an upcoming video. Now, a general dishonorable mention goes to the Venture and Dungeon mechanic. These had a lot of potential, but mechanically were hamstrung to ensure they couldn't be too powerful. Many effects ensuring you can only venture once per trigger or activation, and rarely at instant speed. Sure, there's one or two infinite loops you can do to speedrun these dungeons, but in the end it's just not powerful enough to justify the extra costs on venture cards or the slow pace of exploring dungeons. For our format in Commander, it's just not worth building around. Now, let's get to the list. Sharing the number 5 spot is both Oswald Fiddlebender and Instrument of the Bards. Why do they share a spot, you ask? Well, they're both repeatable tutors, for the most part. Oswald Fiddlebender is a send-up to Birthing Pod, a card so broken it's banned in Modern, and its effects see regular play in high-powered Commander. The only thing keeping him from being higher on this list is that being monocolor really hurts his potential as a Commander. An Instrument of the Bards is like an Aether Vial and Demonic Tutor had a baby. The sooner this artifact comes down, the sooner you can start filling your hand with exactly what you need. Just be cautious, as you can only search for creatures with a mana value equal to exactly the number of counters on this legendary artifact. Putting counters on it is optional, so make sure you know what you want before you do it. This is great for finding specific creature combo pieces within your deck. If this ability let you search up creatures with equal or less than mana value, this would be a hit. At number 4 on the list is Skeletal Swarming. This may look like a splashy Golgari enchantment on the surface, but it is Snowball City. If you start with 1 skeleton, the next turn it's 2, then if they don't all die, they get larger and larger. It's when we add token doublers to the mix that this just goes off the rails. With a Parallel Lives, which conveniently we can play the turn before this comes down, if we make 2 skeletons, that becomes 4, and they attack as 5/1 tramplers the next turn. That's 20 power attacking across 4 bodies on turn 6. Not too shabby. In a dedicated tokens deck, or for some reason, something with a high volume of skeletons in it, this can really get out of hand, making you 2, 4, or more little bony ball lightnings every turn. At number 3 on the list is Guardian of Faith. Across all the tune-ups I've done, one of the most common concerns I've seen is that creature-based decks can't recover from a board wipe. It's one of the reasons Teferi's Protection is played as much as it is. It's a great gotcha for dodging board wipes and even noping out of a combo kill. Green has Heroic Intervention and white has cards like Unbreakable Formation, and now has further redundancy with Guardian of Faith. Being able to block then phase out your creatures, or dodge a board wipe, are amazing abilities to have, and being 2 relevant creature types, Spirit and Knight, means that this has a chance to see play outside of just Commander. It's a great pickup and a great include, as phasing out tokens doesn't get rid of them. At number 2 on this list, and I know he'd be mad about it, is Asmodeus the Archfiend. Asmodeus is Grizzlebrand Light, with the coveted text of draw 7 cards on him. Sure, we don't get to draw those cards, we exile them, but we can return everything we want to our hands at a cost. This is both exciting and dangerous. There were a few combos floating around that don't quite work, since there was a recent rules update on creature abilities being linked, which is a shame because I really wanted to use Marisol the Pretender, Arcslogger, and Asmodeus to draw a whack of cards at a time for a couple of mana. What is exciting is that you can still give Asmodeus' ability to Marisol and draw 7 cards for 3 mana, or have Asmodeus in your graveyard and use a Necrotic Ooze to draw 7 cards for 3 mana. The real painful work here is when Asmodeus parties with his fellow black legendaries in Carrick or Villas. Then things get a little weird. That's a lot of life to pay, but if you can do it, and can do it quick, you can have the majority of your deck in your hand on turns 3 or 4. Asmodeus is waiting to be broken. You just need to make a deal with the devil first. Lastly, at number 1 on our list is Treasure Vault. This colorless land is, wait for it, an artifact land. We just had a bunch of new artifact lands released in Modern Horizons 2, and they are all good as more and more recently printed cards synergize with them specifically. But it's a colorless artifact land that can be used to ramp significantly later in the game. This is a colorless land that can fit into every deck at almost no opportunity cost unless you are a 4 or 5 color deck with some very intense mana costs. Spending just 1 turn sinking unused mana into the activated ability later in the game can propel you ahead several turns worth of mana generation. I personally think the ideal amount of mana to sink into X is 3, but it makes for a great way to sink a lot of mana into one ability and bank it for later. With that aside, the fact that it makes treasures is very important. We're seeing more and more cards interact with these tokens, from Academy Manufactor to the new Zorn. We're seeing no sign of this slowing down either, so it's a land that you should pick up now as it's only going to see more and more synergies printed in upcoming sets to come. And that's my top 5 commander cards for Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. Let me know what you think about these top 5 cards, and be sure to tell me what your favorite card in the set is in the comments below. Until next time, folks, good luck and have fun.